On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Eldon Ronald War, file number 22-02948. OD, council appearance.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee.
Matt Staples for the city of Lansing.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Eldon Ronald War.
Okay, Mr. War, how are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a little cold in here though, but I'm hanging in there. Let's see here. Today was set for a probation violation hearing. You were arraigned on the violation back on August 21st. It looks like by Magistrate Kelly. Allegations that you failed to contact probation to schedule your orders of appointment with the officer, and that the officer set your orders of appointment back on July 3rd, and that you failed to appear. We have a hearing?
No.
Okay, so he's gonna plead guilty to the violation?
Yes, sure.
Is that so? That's true, true, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give us the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can put your hand down. You understand that you have the right to have a contested hearing on the violation?
Yes.
Okay, you have the right to have the city and the probation department put forth evidence to establish whether by a preponderance of the evidence you actually in fact violated the terms of your probation conditions. You understand that, right? And you want to waive your hearing today? Or do you want to have a hearing on the violation? Meaning, do you want to waive the hearing and not require them to prove the violation? You want to plead guilty?
Yes.
Okay, anybody threatening you?
No.
Anybody making any promises to you?
No.
Okay, you plead guilty to the violation because you believe you're guilty.
Yes.
As to the violation that you failed to report to probation as ordered to go over your order of judgment and sentence, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Okay, and so I sentenced you, sir, back on June 13th, 2023, is that correct?
All right.
Okay, don't dispute that date?
No.
Okay, and I sentenced you to a term of probation, 6 months, is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay, and you were supposed to report to probation. Did you appear in person for your sentencing? Or did you do it via Zoom?
I believe I did Zoom.
Okay, so you were supposed to report to probation to go over your probation order or your,
Correct.
my judgment, and you had an appointment, is that correct?
Yes.
You failed to appear, is that correct?
I appeared once and I didn't go back for the initial arrangement for the other, like the classes and all that stuff. That's what I did not.
Okay, why did you not go back?
I was I was very distracted at the point in time to where like I wasn't focused and my dates were off. I having all these court dates and and I was confused.
You have another matter pending somewhere? Or is this the only matter you have?
Currently I'm in jail right as of now for 90 days for another violation from Judge Buchanan.
Another probation violation?
One also that I was not clearly focused on due to personal matters. Probably doesn't,
Any additional
isn't a good
questions?
justification,
I get it. Any additional questions from the city?
Nothing from the city, Your Honor.
Any factual basis, Mr. Lee?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Ward, is it true that you were found guilty of OUICS operating under the influence of a controlled substance by this court?
Yes,
And is it also true that as a result of your guilty plea that you were sentenced to probation?
yes,
And as part of that probation, you were required to check in with the probation officer to get your orders and such.
Yes.
Okay, you were also asked to complete a victim impact panel class.
I'm aware of some classes, but I wasn't quite sure of
Which ones? Okay,
yes.
which is one of the reasons why we check in with the probation officer to get those orders, right? Okay. And you were also ordered to complete random testing, random drug testing.
That I was also aware of.
Okay. But you did not check in with the probation officer to begin your program.
I did the first one, but I didn't go back for the initial setup to arrange all that.
To arrange all that.
Yes.
So that's why you're kind of
That was
unaware
just
of what
the
the
initial-
expectations were.
It was just to meet. It was our first formal meeting that we had. Miss Bayless.
So you did not participate in the probation program. Right?
No.
No further questions, Ron.
Okay, the court is satisfied with the factual basis. I'll accept your plea. Find your plea be made freely, voluntarily, and intelligently. The recommendation from probation, it says the defendant failed to contact probation for orders of appointment. It made multiple attempts to reach the defendant, and the defendant failed to report also for the pre-sentence interview on other case with this officer. That must be the case before Judge Buchanan. Recommendation is to continue your probation, but to impose a weekend in jail as your sentence. But you're currently serving 90 days in jail, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You can make your allocution, counsel.
Your Honor, thank you so much. As the defendant stated, he was going through some things with his child custody situation, weighed heavily on him. He also had another case that was working its way through the court. The totality of the circumstances caused him stress and confusion. Although he admits that he didn't do what he was supposed to do, he knows that his current situation being in jail has brought that into a sharp focus for him. His entire concern at this point is the child visitation issues that he was previously having and wants to get back to. So Mr. Ward has expressed with the deepest sincerity that he will participate in the program and he will do what the court asks him to do. Therefore, Your Honor, we're asking the court to sentence Mr. Ward to time served on this matter with an opportunity to continue his probation when he gets out from serving this current sentence.
You said that stress caused you to not do this?
Yeah, a little bit of everything, you know. I haven't really experienced a lot of stuff like this. You know, I'm not violent. You know, I don't have a criminal history. You know what I mean? Being like removed away from my house that I lived for 5 years, you know, to being basically homeless, other than my mom, you know, is not gonna leave me on the streets, you know what I mean? That weighed in a lot, because I'm not gonna be a 40-year-old man laying with my mom in a 1-bedroom studio apartment, you know what I mean? So it made it very, very difficult for me to focus on that. Also, I didn't want to have to put pressure on her and then, you know, having to worry about my own life.
I recognize you probably have a lot going on. You said it yourself, you're a 40-year-old man. You shouldn't be laying up on your mother's sofa, but sometimes things happen and circumstances present themselves that you may have to do certain things that you probably wouldn't normally do temporarily. But as it relates to opportunities for probation, I'm trying to understand how in your head the probation causes some stress for you that prohibits you from doing the things that are going to help you. I ordered you to only 6 months probation, that you don't have a violent history, except I would consider the use of drugs violent on your body. So that's a problem. You're attacking yourself with poison. And I only sentenced you to 6 months probation. I ordered you to do a small amount, a trivial amount of community service and gave you a whole lot of time to do it because you told me you weren't employed. And then 25 hours in 90 days is what I urge you to do. I should urge you to do 25 hours in 1 week. I gave you 3 months to do it, but you're stressed out about that. I told you to provide proof weekly to probation that you are attempting to find employment. And I told you to do the victim impact within 90 days. That was all I asked you to do. Very minimal. None of those things benefit me. It doesn't help me, except it only helps me if you're a functioning member of this community. If you get a job and you make money to support yourself, you're the one with the custody issue. You're the one who wants to be able to be a provider and have a meaningful time with your child. You're the one who doesn't want, I don't sleep on my mother's sofa. You're the one who wants to do those, don't want to do those things. So I'm trying to wrap around how it is that when the court gives you an opportunity to focus on those things, instead of you doing that, you decide that all of this is stressing me out and I'm not going to do anything. You can't use stress as a crutch to not do what you need to do. You're a 40-year-old man. None of us in here live without any stresses in our lives. Do you think that your attorney got to be where he is to represent you if he didn't live with stress?
Absolutely.
But if he decided these cases are stressing me out, I'm not coming to court.
We wouldn't be here today.
Yeah, and then you wouldn't have anybody to represent you. As an adult, we have to deal with stress and we still have to handle our business. And I didn't give you a lot of business to handle because I really wanted you to prioritize getting a job, because I feel like as a 40-year-old man, if you're working every day, if you're doing community service, then you're going to make some better decisions about yourself. And then you also have other issues going on in another court, but you've squandered that opportunity as well. I don't know what's going to happen before your issue before Judge Buchanan. When did she sentence you to 90 days?
The day after I was remanded.
I issued a bench warrant on August 8th when you failed to appear. I said no PR for 14 days. Looks like you saw our magistrate on August 21st. So is that when you were remanded? Yeah, remanded to Ingham County Jail. So she just recently put you on for 90 days.
I'm sorry.
She just recently gave you 90 days to serve. Is that correct?
Yes, the 22nd.
And did you have credit for any days?
No, I don't think so. Other than the day that I was in already.
Credit 1 day.
Yeah.
That was on
So I've
the
been in for
23rd. She sentenced you. Okay. I'm going to continue your probation. However, I'm going to have to extend it because you were supposed to get off December 13th. I'm going to extend it 6 months.
Permission to speak, Your Honor.
Yes.
I also did go to some outreach areas to do some research on my own. This is before I actually spoke with the probation officer to find out the exact classes and stuff that I needed to do. I was just doing some research of my own to, find out some opportunities. I did do another drug and alcohol assessment, which made the second one that I've done. And I've done some community service that I just didn't know how to report it because I didn't speak with the probation officer. But as soon as I touch base again with the probation officer, I will be able to report those hours. I got at least 7 to 8 hours of community
And
service.
that was off the list of opportunities provided to you by probation, or did you pick your own place?
I picked my own place.
You don't get to do that.
That's
That's great. You should do that on your own.
It was in a good area though,
That's
where
fantastic.
I believe it would have been.
That's wonderful. You should continue to do that. But you're gonna serve the 25 hours at a location that we tell you to
I
serve at,
understand.
okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. But I will happily still do that. Just cause.
Okay, so what we'll have is that you're gonna be released from custody. It looks like about another 80 days from now, you're gonna restart your probation once you're released from custody. So whenever you're released from custody, you need to report to probation within 48 hours from that, okay?
Yana, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn or not.
Yes. What is your name?
It's mother, I'm Deborah
Deborah, what's your last name?
War.
Yes, and you wanted to share something with the
I
court?
just want to say whatever way he needs to do his probation stuff, I will make sure if I have to go sit and make sure he does what he needs to do, that's what's gonna happen, because I don't want to have to clap him upside his head.
Well, you
But
know, you're a
whatever-
great mother. He's 40.
Yeah, but he's still my baby, and that's just how I feel about it, you know, and I want him to be in a better state of mind. I want him to have all the things that he needs to utilize to get himself back in the shape he was before all of this went down. So anything I can do outside of the box to help him stay on the right path, I'm willing to do it, even though I know he grown. My mama always said, kids be on your heart when you're a baby, but on your mind, on your nerves when they get grown. So.
I don't know. Well, I get it though. I'm mother too.
yeah.
You've done enough, Mom.
But she's still part of your support system. Shouldn't have to be on your back to clock you in your head though.
Right.
She can be there to encourage you, to pray for you, to exhort and stir you up in every good work. But she should not have to baby you to do what you need to do at 40 years old. I'm only 2 years older than you are, sir. I have a mother too, and she's gonna be on me to make sure I make good decisions, but I don't need her to call me in the morning to make sure I go to work. And Kristen, did you pay your bills? I don't need her to do those things because she's already given me the tools that I need. Now, as an adult, I need to use the tools. So it's up to you.
Sure.
But you definitely can't use the excuse that you don't have a support system because you do have one. So nonetheless, you're going to continue probation. You're going to report to probation within 48 hours upon your release from custody so that you can go over your orders with your probation officer. Your probation officer is Jody Bayless, okay? And then my previous order for what you will do as part of your probation will continue.
Another question.
Yes, sir.
So will I serve under the same probation officer under Buchanan also?
I'm not sure who is your probation officer for Buchanan.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Did she revoke your probation and sentence you to 90 days? I would be inclined to believe that you don't have probation before her, but I could be wrong. Believe she, I'm sorry.
I'm pretty sure she said something if I get out or when I get out, if I violate or something, I'll have to do another 365 days or follow the
I think
rest of.
there's a tail. I believe that's right. Although I don't think you're,
That's a sentence though, isn't it? That's from the sentence from me. She just, I think so, so it looks like it's still. Report day. He is on probation. Can you go back up, please? All the way up. One day previous served, I'm trying to see if it says suspend upon completion of probation, because I don't know if he's being held on this. I don't know that you're serving 90 days then. I don't think, that's not what that tells me. That tells me you're on probation. It does say he's on probation. Yeah, you said you were sentenced to 90 days?
a probation violation. Right, and, yeah, probation violation appeared back in front of her again, was sentenced to 90 days.
Her note from the 23rd says that he was to spend 90 days Ingham County Jail, credit 1 day, and then she continued the no contact order, and then she still continued his probation conditions under here. So I'm not sure that that's what he's being held on. Statement, what is this?
Also, maybe she just sentenced him to 90 days.
You have a report date, second Thursday of each month. I don't, and the reason why I don't know, I would have to look at the file. I don't see in there where it says suspend upon completion. We can call and confirm. But I know that I held you. You're being held under me on this. I held you for 14 days from the 21st because you did not appear when you were supposed to. Let me see. Who's the say who's officers? It's Jody. Has 18 months probation. And so you're gonna do 90 days and then you're released on probation before Judge Buchanan. I'm noting that here in the file so that you don't duplicate your efforts, meaning you're not gonna be required to test twice. I think you have the same probation officer. And she notes that here that you failed to also report for PSI on the other case with this officer. So you get the same probation officer. Okay? Any other questions? Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
I'm sorry, nothing for the city, Your Honor.
For the defense, thank you.
Thank you. You're all set, Mr. Ward.
Thank you.
Thank you. I see Ashley.
Yes, I'm here.
What's your last name, ma'am?
Fox.
Ashley Fox. Okay, Mr. Smith, do you want me to put her in the meeting room with you?
That would be great. Thank you, Your Honor.
Paige Smith,
Yes.
can you start your video, please? Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the city of Lansing versus Paige Elizabeth Smith, file number 23-00270. Ms. Smith, today is the date that's set for an arraignment on a probation violation. I have a request in summons for probation violation, and it alleges that you have violated the terms of your probation by committing the following technical violations. It said you failed to refrain from alcohol per 64A District Court Case 23712 STA. It says that you also committed the following non-technical violation, that you pled guilty to a new offense committed while on probation before this court. You pled guilty to operating with a blood alcohol content of 0.17 or more on August 15th, 2023 at the 64A District Court, the date of that offense being August 3rd, 2023. So you have the right to have a contested hearing. You have the right to be represented by counsel at that hearing. You have the right to require the city and the probation department to put forth evidence to establish whether or not you violated the terms of your probation as being alleged. If you're found to be in violation of your probation can be continued, or it can be terminated and you can be sentenced to a term of jail time, or it can be extended. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, you also could have additional oversight and sanctions imposed, such as a sober link or scram tether or other programming to assist you if the court deems that necessary. Do you want to request an attorney to represent you for the violation?
If I could, please.
Okay, I'm gonna set your matter for hearing. It's gonna be in person.
I'm sorry, what was that?
At 1:15, September 12th at 1:15. I'm setting your matter for a probation violation hearing. That hearing's in person. You need to appear in person for the next court date, okay?
Okay.
Okay, and then we'll enter a not guilty plea for you at this time. Ms. Donnelly, do you want me to put her in the meeting room with you?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, after that, you'll be all set for today, Ms. Smith.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. It's on the Galaxy. Ma'am, what's your name? You have to unmute.
Tamia Russell.
Okay, Ms. Russell, you're here for a creditor's exam, and Mr. Smith is meeting with another party from another file, so you hang tight. I'll get you in a meeting room, and then he'll join that meeting room when he's available, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
What you doing, waiting again?